Hollywood is built on image, perfect smiles, carefully controlled headlines, and stories the public is only supposed to see one way. But sometimes, the truth slips through, and when it does, it exposes scandals powerful people would rather the world forget. These are 5 celebrity scandals Hollywood tried very hard to bury. Some controversies fade in a few days, others leave permanent damage. The stories in this video didn't just dominate headlines, they changed careers, exposed hidden systems, and forced the entertainment industry into uncomfortable conversations. Let's begin. Ellen DeGeneres, workplace controversy. For years, Ellen DeGeneres built an empire around one simple message: be kind. Her daytime show became one of television's most successful brands. She was seen as funny, relatable, and impossible to dislike. Then in 2020, everything changed. Multiple reports surfaced describing allegations of a toxic workplace environment behind the scenes of her show. Former employees described fear, intimidation, and a culture that felt completely different from the public image viewers had seen for years. The backlash was immediate, and suddenly, one of Hollywood's most carefully built reputations began collapsing in public. The controversy forced an on-air apology, but the damage had already been done. Not long after, the show came to an end.
This summer, there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show, and then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected.
Armie Hammer's career collapse.
You tried to dress her like someone on your side sees someone dressed behind the actor.
At one point, Armie Hammer looked like Hollywood's next major leading man. Big roles, major premieres, a fast-rising career. Then leaked messages surfaced online, and almost overnight, everything changed. The allegations and controversy surrounding the actor triggered intense public scrutiny. Projects were canceled, studios distanced themselves, and a career that had seemed unstoppable suddenly collapsed. What made this scandal so shocking wasn't just how quickly it spread. It was how fast Hollywood moved to erase someone who had once been positioned as one of its future stars. Within months, his public image had completely transformed.
You ever eaten any human flesh?
No. Not a question I'd ever thought I'd have to answer, by the way, but no, never. You know what you have to do to be a cannibal? You have to have actually eaten someone.
Britney Spears' conservatorship.
Judge Brenda Penny has ended the conservatorship of Britney Spears.
Tonight, cheers erupting outside this courthouse in Los Angeles.
For years, millions of fans watched Britney Spears from a distance without fully understanding what was happening. On the surface, she was still performing, still releasing music, still appearing in public. But behind that image was a legal conservatorship controlling major parts of her life. For over a decade, questions continued growing. Then the hashtag Free Britney movement exploded. Fans, journalists, and eventually the wider public began asking the same thing. How had one of pop culture's biggest stars remained under such strict control for so long? When Britney finally spoke publicly in court, her testimony shocked millions. And suddenly, a system many had barely understood was exposed worldwide. The case forced Hollywood and the public to confront difficult questions about celebrity control, exploitation, and power.
She says that other people have done a good job in exploiting her life, and that's why she wants to speak now. She doesn't think she's been heard in court before. She said she talked about threats to tour, talking about an involuntary hospitalization, about medication that she says was switched without her knowledge.
And the next 2 scandals didn't just shock Hollywood. They exposed how far powerful systems could go. Johnny Depp career fallout. At his peak, Johnny Depp was one of Hollywood's biggest names, a global superstar with some of the most recognizable roles in modern film. Then came years of public legal battles and allegations that dominated headlines worldwide. Before any final verdict, the damage to his career was already happening. Major studios began distancing themselves, projects disappeared, and one of Hollywood's biggest stars found himself fighting not just in court, but for his public reputation. The trial later became one of the most watched legal events in entertainment history, but long before the verdict, his career had already been shaken.
I don't watch them. I feel better not watching them. What was the question again?
How many order in the court, or I will have you removed. Understood?
Harvey Weinstein and the industry reckoning. For years, Harvey Weinstein was one of Hollywood's most powerful figures. He helped shape careers, controlled opportunities, and held enormous influence across the film industry. Then, investigative reporting exposed allegations that would shake Hollywood to its core. What followed was more than a celebrity scandal. It became an industry-wide reckoning. The revelations triggered global conversations about abuse of power, silence, and accountability, and it helped ignite one of the most significant cultural shifts modern Hollywood has ever faced. This wasn't just one scandal, it exposed an entire system many believed had stayed hidden for far too long, and once it surfaced, Hollywood could never look the same again.
Harvey Weinstein built an empire with films from Shakespeare in Love to Pulp Fiction to Good Will Hunting. Now he's a convicted rapist.
This is not about one group of women. This is about all of us.
Hollywood is designed to protect its image, but history shows that eventually, the truth finds its way out. And when it does, the consequences can reshape careers, industries, and public trust forever. Which scandal do you think shocked Hollywood the most? And what should we uncover next? Let us know below.